everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about some NBA teams that I think, after seeing this NBA offseason, that I think can be future NBA elite or premier teams. Now, don't get this mixed up with a winners and losers video, but I guess you could say that this is sort of three NBA teams that I think did good in the offseason and that I think in the future can really be great after this sort of Warriors-Cavs year we have is done. I think these three NBA teams can be one of the best in the league and possibly even compete for championships. So I guess you could say these are three NBA teams that I think did well this offseason. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, the first of the three teams that I think in the future could become super teams are the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's just talk about what they did this offseason. Now, the first thing is they obviously in the draft went out and got Markelle Fultz. He's great in those pick and pop situations because he can really shoot the ball, and pick and pop really just fits in with his game. And also, he can be on the wing. He can, if a player drives and kicks out to him, he can obviously knock down those wide open threes. So he can be in the pick and pop or just be on the wing and catch and shoot. And the other great thing about Markelle Fultz is that he can also create plays very well. He has a very good playmaking ability and can really just see the floor. So Markelle Fultz, overall on offense, he is the complete package you could get. He is definitely an offensive superstar, and I actually do have a player comparison. I think you could compare him sort of as a Kyrie Irving. Obviously not at that level yet, but I think if Markelle Fultz does as everybody expects him to, he could play like Kyrie Irving in the future. And I think Markelle Fultz, generally a great player for the Philadelphia for the Philadelphia 76ers to pick up. And I think if he does as everybody expects him to, he will be great in the future. So the 76ers obviously have great youth also because they have Joel Embiid, and then they also have Dario Saric, and obviously also Ben Simmons. So they have a bunch of young players, but the thing is you cannot always just succeed with young players. So I think another great thing they did is that when they went out and got JJ Redick, who will be a really good veteran presence for them in the locker room, but he also provides a really good punch in the offense because, as we all know, JJ Redick can really knock down threes at a very high clip. And now the last thing I think that the 76ers need to do in order for them to really become a great team in the future is that I think they need to get some forwards. Now, they did get Amir Johnson, so that is really good for them. He's another youngish type of guy who can actually perform, but I think they need to focus in a little bit more on those small forwards. I mean, Robert Covington is good for now, but I think if they want to really compete for a finals opportunity in the future, they should go out and try to get another really good small forward. And another great thing that they have going for them is that some playoff spots have opened up in the Eastern Conference, as we all know, because some superstars from the East did head over to the West. Not really good for the East, but the 76ers now, I think, have a great chance to possibly slip into the playoffs even this upcoming season as probably the 6th seed. And the final thing about the 76ers is that I think they'll be amazing, but they just have to stay healthy, because even Markelle Fultz, he had an injury recently. It wasn't too big. It was only a sprained ankle, but that will keep him out for all the summer league, but he will be back soon. But the thing is, as you all know, the Sixers, they really have been having issues with that because Ben Simmons, as we all know, missed the last entire season. And obviously Joel Embiid, he is constantly getting injured. So I think if they can stay healthy, they'll be a great team in the near future. The next team I want to talk about are the Phoenix Suns. Now, obviously, first of all, they have Devin Booker, who very soon I think can be averaging 25 or more points. And I think Devin Booker can be a superstar caliber player in the NBA because he can shoot and he can basically do everything. He can score, and I think the main thing he needs to focus on maybe is a little bit defense, but just like Markelle Fultz, I think Devin Booker is a great offensive player. He can develop a little bit more, but for now, he is amazing, and I think as time goes on, he will develop in the next year or two. I think then he'll be able to possibly even become an all-star in the future, and he can basically score the ball as well as anybody in the league. Now, I think he is another good player to compare Markelle Fultz to. And those two are very good at offense, obviously. They are complete offensive superstars. And I think Devin Booker is just a really good player for the Suns to have. Now, next of all, we have Eric Bledsoe. He is almost an all-star. And Eric Bledsoe can slash on offense. He's pretty good there. But he's also a really good asset if they need to trade in the future. Like, as he's going to get a little bit older. He's only 27 currently. But I think that as the Suns start to develop, he's going to start to become a veteran for them. He'll be a great presence there. But I think in the future, if they ever need to make a trade, he'll be a really good asset for them to trade because he's a very good player who lots of teams would really want. Next of all, we have Josh Jackson. Obviously, the number 4 pick in the draft. He was in the top 3 best players in the draft. I think that he is definitely the perfect fit for the Phoenix Suns. He's great in the paint, he can get inside, and he provides a really good defensive presence. He's a perfect young fit for them. Defense is something that I think they were needing, and Josh Jackson, I think that out of all the players in the NBA draft, I thought that he would be the one to fit the most with them, and they got him, so I think they did great drafting Josh Jackson. And now, besides these good, well-known players, they also have another few good developing talents, such as Marquise Chris, who's a power forward, Tyler Ulis, who's a point guard, plus others like Dragan Bender and Alex Len. So I think that shows they have some good big men and a nice developing point guard in Tyler Ulis. As Eric Bledsoe becomes a veteran, I think Tyler Ulis will be great for them, as he is a current developing point guard who could be pretty good one day. I think he can average 20 points and be like that one day. So they overall have good guards and big men. Now I think if they get a few forwards, they will be perfectly set. And the final team I want to talk about is a team that not many people have been talking about, but I think they definitely deserve some attention, and that is the Sacramento Kings. They have actually done a pretty good job this offseason. So obviously they went out and grabbed De'Aaron Fox, who is definitely, I think, the fastest player in the draft. He has great speed. He is great at driving. He can slash. He can go coast to coast, and he can create offense with his speed. And he generally has a lot of great youth. The Kings have a lot of great youth like De'Aaron Fox, who I think is going to be really good for them. He has a lot of speed in him, and I think he will be able to create plays very well for the Sacramento Kings, and I think he'll be able to create offense. Now, I forgot to mention this, but I think if he and Josh Jackson just up their shooting game a little bit, they will be perfect. De'Aaron Fox in the Summer League, if you watch, has already started to do well in his shooting. He's continued to improve his shooting, and Josh Jackson has been making some jump shots as of late, so I think if Josh Jackson starts making the jump shots, that'll really help the Suns as well. But anyway, right now we are talking about the Kings, so we talked about De'Aaron Fox. Now let's talk about Buddy Hield. He's a good developing guard to pair with De'Aaron Fox to shoot and create shots, and I think the DeMarcus Cousins Buddy Hield trade, it actually worked out okay for the Sacramento Kings. Now let's talk about, and now the last thing we're going to talk about today is Vince Carter and how Vince Carter and George Hill are really good, actually, veteran presence for the Sacramento Kings. And not only can they be a good influence in the locker room, but I think they could actually be some solid role players who can actually impact games. I think that those are just two really solid veteran pickups for the Sacramento Kings. But that's about it for the video. I hope you all did enjoy. These are 3 teams that I think in the future can be great elite teams in the NBA. Let me know down below in the comments if you agreed with what I said, if you think I should have said some different things. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.